Hi there, good afternoon once again. Welcome to the Shadow Studios in the deep north of Cape Town. It's a balmy day in Cape Town. I don't want to do a weather report yet, but we're definitely going to have to do a weather report after our guest plays his set. In the meantime, welcome back everybody. It's SA Vinyl DJs, of course, on the app SA Music Library, live and direct to your mobile device every Saturday afternoon. Download the app from the Google Play Store as well as the Apple iStore and put it onto your mobile device. Go to the section live video stream and of course click on SA Vinyl DJs. That's where you'll find us. We have video on demand where you can watch previous episodes as well as a link to our YouTube. That's right. And if you do go to our YouTube channel, be a pal, ring the bell. You'll get some notifications, of course, as to when Mo's on time and when he's not on time. And of course, we also want to let you know that we say thank you to SA Music Library, our chief sponsor right here, as well as ACOM, Reliable Branding and Printing Solutions. Find them on the web, www.a-com.co.za, for the best vehicle wraps in Cape Town. Of course, this afternoon, once again, I want to say good afternoon. Welcome back to my selector, Mokan. That's right, DJ Moke. I can tell you now, you're going to get Mo of everything. Very soon, I can promise you that. That's happening on the 12th of October. You got a very special guest right back here at the SA Vinyl DJs Shadow Studios in the deep north. This afternoon, we got a very special guest, okay? And I need to say to you, he's not one of my best friends, okay? But I'm going to say to you, everybody needs to have a friend like this. And of course, I want to say good afternoon to the mighty DJ Godfrey Vollenhoven, okay? Can I call you the yard man, brother?
Oh.
Can I do that? Because I don't know where that name came from, but we'll get into that later on. Now, I want to say to you, okay, I've known the guy sitting on my left, which is your right, okay, for quite some time. And I need to say to you, although I'm the shadow, all right, he was always like a silhouette. You could never find him. And now you see him and now you don't. You know what I mean? And of course, a very private character, and I need to say to you, what a gentleman. I call him the gentleman of DJs. Now, that other buddy of ours that was here, the priest, okay, who never drinks and smokes, he's not a gentleman, okay. But this guy, I need to say to you, Mo, this guy, I've known him long enough to know that I call him the gentleman DJ. Yeah, okay. It's as simple as that, you know what I mean? So, it's yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. I mean, ek wil al een aan wil ek hom gechoke het, you know what I mean? But it's okay, you know what I mean? So anyway, but that's just me. So Godfrey Vollenhoven joins us this afternoon, the mighty DJ, and I say mighty DJ, Godfrey Vollenhoven, and we're going to get to everything about Godfrey Vollenhoven, after the first break. In the meantime, what we're actually dying to hear is that set, you know what I mean? And so are you going to tell us a little about the set, without giving away too much?
Yeah, well, not radio classics. Not
okay.
Even probably club
classics.
classics.
Did you see my face? He said not radio classics. Okay, not club classics.
Yeah, just some of the special stuff that I've played at various venues throughout my career,
okay.
And that was probably just big at those venues, not across Cape Town generally. But I think it will still find relevance today.
Okay. Shazam, brother. What's wrong with you? Start now. I can tell you now, everybody that's watching, how many guys we got watching?
I don't even think
Let's see.
I don't think Shazam
if I'm looking at the app here, we've got 15 guys waiting. They probably Shazam, guys. So and you're not going to give away anything. I mean, at the moment, you're not going to tell us. Is it mid tempo? Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it techno, underground? Is it house? Is it
I've always tried to remain on the edge of, what's allowed to play.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be right there in terms of some a bit harder than others, but we'll try and keep it audible.
Okay. Vernon Carver's hard side.
Underground.
The underground, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's under Vernon Carver. Yeah, I mean, look at my producer smiling over there. Of course, DJ Noisy Boy always with us right here at the Shadow Studios. So yeah, so we can expect something highly unusual.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we'll do something different.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, brother. I was expecting something highly unusual. That's why I asked you to come over. You know what I mean? Because I know what you're capable of doing. Yeah. If it's what did Calvin say about that other brother? He's like a fine wind. You know what I mean?
He's like a silent fart.
Yeah, you don't see him coming. A fine wind. I didn't want to say I didn't want to say silent.
It's quite deadly.
Yeah, Godfrey, just a couple of questions, before we go to break. Okay, when last did you play on turntables, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give away my age if I accurately say when I actually played on turntables.
And
was it the century or was it last century?
Yeah, no. Well, I think it was something.
Okay, 20 something.
Early this century.
Yeah,
20 something. Okay, it's not 19s.
Probably not 19s. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's not too bad.
We'll see.
As long as you're not looking for the sync button on the turntable, you won't have problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So and then obviously you still actively playing, doing gigs?
Yes and no. Trying to get out of it.
Okay, so we're gonna get to that in the last segment. But I want to tell you something. The reason why I asked you that question now is because I'm trying to picture you carrying turntables and records, into a function right now. You and me, and Mo, and we got a couple of cases of records with us, and we go into a function. So if Marmalade's got any bookings, we're available. You know what I'm saying? So for any function. So. Anyway, so that's right. Godfrey Vollenhoven joining us this afternoon on SA Music Library. I want to say to you live with my selector Mo Khan once again, it's Saturday afternoon. Tune in, tell all your friends about it. We got a bumper set coming up. It's going to be highly unusual. I know that Roger Alexander's watching, and I know that he's got Shazam on, but he'll be back here on the 12th, of course. Also progressive, by the way. He's actually a progressive DJ.
Okay.
Yeah, like yourself. But progressive from the South, every day Owens, hulle kan mos die boere wors eet. We here in Bellville, so we can braai, you know what I'm saying? That's it basically. So nevertheless, we want to say thank you to SA Music Library, the app to get onto your mobile. Tell all your friends about it. Tell your whole family about it. And of course, this week Saturday's episode will be available in video on demand by Tuesday. And Godfrey's going to watch it. He's going to show his daughter, his wife, his mother, etc. And they're going to show their friends. So you better do the same. We're going to be back right after this break. And of course, our producer DJ Noisy Boy here every Saturday on time as always. And then just before we go to break, Mo, I see you brought some records there. I don't know. Is that for me?
No, that's not for you.
Not for Randall Matthews, was it?
And that's for Godfrey, but we'll
Well, for him to take home, or
no, for him to play. We'll reveal.
Okay, we'll reveal that. We'll be right back after.
That's funny, that record will reveal something else as well.
We'll be right back after this break, and of course, and then we'll reveal what Mo's got going for Godfrey. In the meantime, stay tuned and stay with us right here on SA Vinyl DJs.
At ACOM Reliable Printing and Branding, we specialize in wrapping vehicles and offer novelty car decals, signage, t-shirt printing, and a range of bespoke branded items, all put together by an innovative in-house design team to tailor your branding and adverts. Call ACOM now on 021 948 2213 or click to a-com.coza. ACOM, quality without question.
That's right, the SA Vinyl DJs right back here on SA Music Library, the app to have on your phone. Download it from the App Store as well as Google Play. Put it down on your phone, go to the live streaming section or the live video section and click on SA Vinyl DJs. That's where you'll find the best vinyl DJs from Cape Town and across the country right here every Saturday afternoon in the deep north of Cape Town. And of course, thinking about the deep north, I want to say that the Bellville conversation is coming up on the 12th. I'm doing my homework, Mo, just by the way.
The Bellville 3. The
Bellville 3 will be here on at.
Is that Newton, Vernon, and Godfrey?
Yes, that's it. Newton, Vernon, and Godfrey. Yeah, the Bellville 3, keeping us company, obviously, at that stage of the game. Nevertheless, our special guest this afternoon, Mr. Godfrey Vollenhoven, one of Cape Town's top DJs. And he's obviously a huge influencer when it comes to the music scene and entertainment scene in Cape Town. And what an honor to have him here with us. And we want to say to Godfrey, the reason why we're here is because of the story behind the story. So let's start with the story behind the story, okay? Let's start with what people don't know. First of all, Godfrey Vollenhoven. Okay, so who is Godfrey Vollenhoven? Where did he grow up? What's happening? I mean, where's he from? I know that you used to be able to fit like me into a size 28 jeans at one time. So.
That's it.
Yeah.
Born and bred, grew up in Bishop Lavis.
Okay.
Well-known township. I think there's lots of famous people nowadays that is in the limelight that's coming from Bishop Lavis.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up. Went to a school called John Ramsey.
Okay, know it.
Studied a bit. Worked in the legal field for a while. And
Studied legal?
Yeah, law. So,
Okay.
worked in the legal field a while, and then, but throughout all of that, in the background, I was always a DJ.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay. So your musical career, let's talk about that, the DJ, right? Started at what age, and what were your influences? I mean, how did you get into it? Because I mean, look, obviously, if I'm taking my kid to soccer, I'm hoping he's gonna end up like Ronaldo, you know what I mean?
Listen, I remember fondly playing 7 singles on my grandmother's little hi-fi system when I was probably, I can't even remember the age, I was always the guy sitting there playing the records. I don't know why, and from there it grew into the stuff that I used to play was obviously for the adults, and that was for their enjoyment. And at some stage, my grandma bought me first time ever I saw a 12-inch vinyl.
Okay.
Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
Okay. I'm in love with the DJ.
I'm burning up.
Oh, okay. I'm burning up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And I couldn't believe that you could actually get other music other than the music that I was normally playing for the adults.
Yes.
On this format.
Yes.
And started trying to find out where do you get these things. And I remember in those days, whenever you went to the shops and things, there was always these posters up of these events, the backyard
snack dance. Snack dance.
Yeah. And a name that was very prominent in my era was Isibani Disco.
Okay.
And I always saw this, and I always imagined, someday I have to see what this thing is about, you know.
Yes.
And actually ended up not at Isibani, but I think the first club, because my father had a little shop, or he ran the kitchen in a nightclub called the Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
Sure, how similar is our upbringing? Yeah. My parents ran the kitchen in a little nightclub called the Club.
Yeah. And I remember the DJ was DJ Cocky. He was the
Trevor. He used to be my neighbor. Not too long ago. Yeah.
So I think I don't know. He probably I don't know him personally, but he was the first proper DJ that was an influence on me in terms of first time going to the back kitchen in the club, listening to all this music.
So that would mean that you then, I've never heard you speak on a mic, but I mean, I know that Cocky liked speaking on a mic. So I mean, was that also your thing, or at the time, or were you also like a microphone guy?
Listen, no, I was always just about the music, and I'm a bit of an introvert, so I shy away from interaction a lot. That's why with your interview.
Hy wil nie sê Cocky mix Cocky. Hy mag concentrate op die music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it was always just about the music. So it started as I started as a vinyl collector basically, because I was looking for all these songs that appealed to me.
Yes.
Given the fact that I was always playing for other people, other things, years later, I'm actually looking for those same records that I didn't want to listen to back then, you know. So
I remember you used to come into the Works Records, and for some reason I could always sell you the stuff that other guys didn't want. That was the other thing, you
That-
know, or some obscure version. You know what I mean? Him and Vernon, you know, so the two of them used to always, you know, no, it's fine, I'll take that one. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought I was going to struggle to sell it. Anyway, so then obviously you worked at the Gemini in the cafe, or in the kitchen.
So, didn't technically work there. My parents were there, and they,
Yes.
at times when there was no babysitter at
Yes.
home, took me with, and I sat
Yes.
in the kitchen in a little corner until
Yes.
they done. But I mean, obviously, I was exposed to all
Yes.
the music. Never went into the club and
Okay.
actually saw what was happening, but
Okay.
I was around there, you know, with all this music being played, and like I said, you know, that was probably my first.
And then
experience.
from your own vinyl, or I mean, like all of us, I mean, you did you ever mobile? Did you ever have a mobile, or did you go straight to clubbing?
Listen, one day, how I actually started actively DJing myself, my father said, listen, we go to this guy owes him money, blah, blah, blah. I got to the guy told him, listen, there's no, he doesn't have the money, couldn't come up with the money, and there was this big coffin-like thing standing in the corner, and the
Okay.
guy said, listen, I'm packing up my business, can't we do a deal, take
Yes.
the stuff, and then,
Yes.
you know, I had these big faint boxes, and when we opened it up, it was a pair of Lenko turntables.
Wow,
With,
okay, wow.
You know, so that was my first DJ
Okay.
setup.
Okay, so there was a crowd in Valhalla that I used to hang out with back in the day, and I said this to Newton as well. Unlimited touch mobile disco.
Yeah.
Okay, because we were from Maitland, and these guys were buddies of ours. So we used to kind of do, you know, all the excess gigs that they had on the
Yeah.
night, basically, and they were quite popular. Apparently at the time, I didn't know. I was just happy to get gigs so, when we were mobiling. But here's the thing: it wasn't their gig that you went to go fetch, was it?
No,
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah. I didn't gig with that set at
Yes,
first.
yes.
It was more sitting in my room and
Yes.
playing music, and then
Yes.
every now and then putting the stuff out in the backyard, and all the friends around came,
Yes.
and you know I DJ'd.
Yes.
I think I had about 10 records, so it was the same thing over and over.
Okay.
Sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously that's how I fine-tuned my mixing and this
Yes.
and that. Eventually, at some stage, a friend of mine was involved with Isibani.
Okay.
He got me to, he took me along to one gig one night. Actually, a couple of gigs, and I was standing always just looking at this thing and whatever. And then Barney one
Yes.
night said, "Do you know how to mix?" And I said, "Yeah. I've got a pair of Lenkos at home, and I've been practicing whatever." And he said, "Okay, just mix one song for me. I want to see what you can do."
Yeah.
And it's the first time I ever touched an SL 1200 turntable.
Wow.
And I still remember it vividly. It was like, you know, the best thing ever.
The light came on. The doves were released.
And
so-
probably didn't shame myself because
Yes.
they let me do a couple of mixes at night,
Yes.
and I was like, and
Yes.
and he was calling friends over and saying, "Look at this guy and he's
Yeah.
mixing, and you know,
Yes.
and whatever." And obviously that's how.
Again, he
goes.
can't say Barney can't mix, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So he's saying he's calling the guys over to show him. You know what I mean? So, anyway,
so yeah, probably you know, I would say the biggest influence in my life from a DJ perspective was Barney.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And I mean, how long were you doing shows with Isibani? I mean,
Shoo, many years. We were. Listen, even.
I mean, I know you guys. I'd always see you guys together.
Yeah,
coming
no.
around.
Listen, the first time ever I played at a club was at Club Montreal in Sherwood Park.
Okay. It was a long time ago. Now he's giving his age away. It's like, hey?
Yeah.
I mean, my
but-
folks went to Club Montreal.
Yeah. Well, I was there at the back end,
Okay.
you know, after
Yeah.
the Brian
Yes.
Owens and those
Okay,
people.
yes.
But Barney obviously did a bit
Yes.
of a set there because he was obviously he had all the stuff, jazz and
Yes.
whatever got played there. So he sort of probably brought me in on a Friday night for the more clubby stuff.
Okay.
I know Saturday afternoons they did the whole jazz
Yes.
into the
Yes.
evening. type
Because
of
Tony
thing.
Schilder, I think, was a resident there.
Yeah.
A resident pianist or something
Yeah.
at that stage of the game.
Yeah. Listen, again, I think I came just after the Shoulders
Yes.
were
Yes.
fading out of,
Yes.
of Montreal. I remember the first time Lee Downs, for example, came to town.
Yes.
Was that's the era when I
Okay,
was
okay,
playing actively
okay.
there. I think it's early 90s, 91, 92. Band Loading Zone.
Okay, I remember
first,
Loading Zone,
First
yes,
gig they ever
yes,
did in
yes.
town. I was the DJ.
Yes,
They were
yes,
there.
yes.
Out of town and all these big bands, at the time.
Interesting, because something just struck me, and I mean, you have such a rich musical background. If you, I mean, for a guy that Gemini, you're talking about Montreal. Other guys, most of the guys said, "No, I started at Ecstasy or Negresco or The Groove or Space or etc. or Fame in Alcy's, you know what I mean, or Thriller, But I mean, if you think about a DJ being surrounded by musicians, I mean, how did that influence your musical choice? Because I know that you're always a guy pushing the edge when it comes to DJing, you know what I mean. So is that relevant? The way that you look at the scene or you look at your music choice.
Listen, probably thinking back about it now for the first time ever, those live bands and things might have played a part in what came out in later years and the directions I took. And then the diversity of music that I was exposed to, probably little wider than a lot of guys. I mean,
yes,
it helps you at the mobile gig. You can play jazz to a jazz aficionado. You can play underground house song to a some guy can play a rave song to a guy and get him to jump up and down. So that's because of all the different influences, and I think Montreal played
a big role.
Yeah, I was young. I was there for the Friday night thing, but
Yes.
you just wanted to be there, so
Yes.
you'll be there on a Saturday,
Yes.
and you'll see what works, and it's that when you're in an environment where a certain type of music is being played, whether you're into it or not, but you see the impact it has on people, because ultimately that's what we try and do. We try and entertain audiences with what we do. That plays a part in you almost absorbing that music as a part of your makeup, So, I mean, that's where I got a bit of a jazz, education.
Okay.
And then some of the soul stuff. On a Sunday they used to do the Shirley Bassey's and
Yes.
those type of music, Nina
I must be
Simone.
honest with you, known you a long time, 20 plus years, never heard you play jazz, ever. There we go. And then obviously throughout all of this, your vinyl collection was growing.
Yes, no,
Because I know, after, even when I was at the Works Records, and after that you were still buying and all of that, and I mean, you guys were building up quite a progressive collection. Because that's how I know you guys. I mean, they were sort of doing the cutting edge stuff in the northern suburbs. You know what I mean, basically. Mo, from your side, is there anything that you want to ask Godfrey before I ask him the next question?
You still got that Master Suite?
I knew you were going to say that.
No.
When I met Godfrey many years ago, it was at that Roadhouse there in Kaitsville one night.
Yes.
And him and Barney had just come from a gig.
Yes.
And then Barney introduced me to him, and
Yes.
they were standing next to that Mazda.
Yeah.
I don't know how they actually fitted into the car because that thing was fully loaded with that canister boxes of records.
Yeah. Actually, I have to correct you. It's not a Mazda. It was a Toyota Liftback.
I know it was something with hatchback.
Two-door Toyota Liftback. Yeah.
What was it? It wasn't a yellow one.
No, it was a. Wow, it was
No,
white for a while.
Andre Boogie had the yellow one.
Yeah, no,
he had a yellow love back.
No, not the
Anyway.
yellow one.
So then obviously Montreal happened, and after that, and then so your first, so I would imagine that Montreal was your first official club gig.
Yeah.
And what year are we talking about here?
Listen,
we say-
91, 92.
Okay.
Still remember Newton started at the company club.
Okay.
and obviously because we were friends at the time.
Okay, this is the part I've been waiting for. So, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And you met Newton how?
Newton.
Because
we
you said you guys work together?
No, we were. I think we met at Technicon.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I remember we were the two crazies always lugging around
Yes.
bags of records to campus and notebooks.
Okay.
So yeah, and there was this radio station, the campus radio station that we used to.
Okay.
They had SL 1200s, obviously,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. So you had to be there with
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that was how we met. I think that's probably before Company Club, probably 1990 around there.
But you joined him in a residency at the company club, or
Yes,
were you
so-
just sort of?
Yeah, so what happened
On and
was
off.
obviously we went there, not frequented the place, but we were friends, and he would say, listen, you know how it goes, how it went those times, there was, if you had a vinyl, one of one,
Yes.
then they had to get you to come there
Yes.
to play that vinyl, you know
Yes.
what I mean? So
Yes.
obviously because I was collecting vinyl
Yes.
and similarly he was collecting his stuff,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff that I collected, he said, listen, bring this and that and whatever, and then we see how it works, and you know, this and that. So I was known for a lot of dubs and things, you know,
Okay.
at that stage, so which worked at the company.
You weren't a B-side guy. You were just a dub guy.
Well, B-side, dubs,
Okay,
and you know,
okay.
whatever
Okay.
was not being played anywhere else, you know. So I think more so Newton played very obscure type of things for its time, you know what I mean. It's not obscure now, it actually sounds like commercial, but at the time it was cutting edge, it was
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
it was, I mean, I remember a track, what's the thing, Goodman, Give It Up.
Yes.
I mean, it was so far out there
Yes.
that, you know, no one even touched the record.
Yes.
And at Company Club, because that, I think we cultivated that underground type of sound. You could buy a record in the week and you open the club with that song. And I
Sure.
vividly remember
There's the thing. Right?
opening up with the Goodmen, and people went absolutely berserk,
Sure.
you know what I mean? First time
Okay.
ever they heard it, it's, you know what I mean? So,
That's ballsy. I mean, I wouldn't be able to just buy a record. I would like build up towards it and then surprise people. You know what I'm saying?
That was a norm for me.
No, that's too ballsy for me.
No,
so-
but
so-
I experienced that twice at company. That Goodman thing, I actually saw the on something on TV
Yes.
where they were actually performing that song live, and I thought like, yo, this is something else.
Yeah.
And about 2 or 3 weeks later, that record was released here, and then they were the first ones besides us to play it like in the club.
Yes.
And then so that was the first sort of experience of what Godfrey said now, where the record was new and they could just open up with it. And the other thing was the Witch Doctor. I
Yeah.
remember coming into Artwax and then somebody was there just before me, and Johnny
Yes.
was playing that the one with the long intro.
Yeah.
And then the Saturday night I popped in there at the company, and then Newton started with that song, and people went off the hits.
Good.
So
That was quite
you
interesting.
spent some time doing the company, and then if I recall correctly, Newton was relating a story. He said then you guys left there and you went to somewhere else. I think it was Sound Factory or something.
Listen, I left.
Or-
I played a couple of years at the company club with
Yes.
Newton, but I left somewhere along the line and did some other gigs.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember the old Charlie Parkers.
Okay, yes, yes, yes.
Then I think after that the
Yes.
name changed to Planet Oz at some
Yes.
stage.
Yes.
Um,
So Charlie Parker's closed down and then reopened. Then Dino Silva and myself were there, and then
Yeah.
we left, and I think you came
Yeah.
afterwards,
Yeah,
and then continued working for Gerhard.
yeah,
If we still had it, that's how I remember it.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden it was something else. So
yeah.
yeah.
And then I moved on to Oxygen
Okay.
Arena actually
Okay.
at the time.
Okay.
Did some gigs at the arena,
Yes.
on and off. And then eventually when they changed the whole thing to Oxygen, and
Yes.
that I was the resident there with Superfly.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a myriad of clubs and things, you know. Then at some stage, so a couple of guys approached me and they said, listen, we're going to open up a club in the northern suburbs. They had a venue. I said, okay, fine, let's do it. Gave me partnership in the business. And I told him, listen, a friend of mine is also a DJ at a big club. I think he wasn't very happy with the situation that he was in.
Yes.
And at some stage he left, and I told him, listen, these guys are pumping some money into a club and whatever. Actually, the club was already up and running. And we both got offered, well, I was already in partnership with the guys, and they offered him a partnership as well. And yeah, we started at a club called the Fantasia.
Okay.
For various reasons, the club didn't work out, you know. But not the club didn't work out. Just,
but that's clubland. I mean, it's not a consistent thing, you know. It's a fluid thing. We all know that. And I'll tell you an interesting thing. So after that, okay, and I'm going to fast forward, I think possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a famous club out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with an orange name. Okay, and I'm just going to fast forward to that section. All right, and because I know it was way after, isn't it? Am I right, or was it straight after?
No, it's way after all of that.
Okay, which is what the club that you're known for, which is Marmalade.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, I never had the privilege of going there or seeing it in action, etc. But it's very interesting. You always hear people in the outlying areas talk about a venue from Cape Town. Hey, have you been to that? Have you been? But you never hear people from here talk about a venue there. That was the first time in the history of my whole DJing career that I actually heard people talk about a venue that was outside of Cape Town. You know what I mean? Where they're saying, well, Cape Town Central, basically. Where they're saying, hey, you know Marmalade? Hey, you know, I'm like, Marmalade, where? What street is it in? You know what I mean? So, no, it's not here at all. It's out that side. So how did that come about?
So again,
was it a takeover? Was it something that you bought? Was it something that that you built up to? I mean,
yeah.
You know.
Listen, I think after other big club that I played at, Club Night Shift in Yesterday.
Okay.
I started doing a lot of what the guys are actually doing these days, running around, doing hourly gigs all over the place. And
yes.
you know, I think it's still the same that people out of town were very big supporters of Cape Town DJs.
Yes.
You got paid well to drive out and so on. Yeah. And then I started playing regular gigs at a club called Gravity.
Okay. And Gravity was where?
In Vredenburg.
Okay, in Vredenburg. Okay.
Became the resident, and after a while, the drive couldn't handle it.
Yes.
And then came back to town, did a lot of things. But this friend of mine, which I passed the gig on to when I left, at some stage he told me, hey, the place closed down.
Okay.
And there's a market in Vredenburg now. Yes. I've got a guy that's willing to finance a club. Do you want to come in? Because I don't know why people seem to like me there as a DJ. So we built a club from the ground.
Yes.
I think a lot of what worked at company clubs, we worked there. Yeah. We tried to do things a bit different. So literally, you had to go from Cape Town to Vredenburg to experience certain types of music and things, because no one in town was really playing the stuff.
Okay.
And then I think there at Marmalade also we put a big focus on live acts. So what would happen, we would book, let's say for example, Malaika, when Destiny hit the #1, we were the first guys to bring in Malaika, and I I booked Malika to Galaxy and
Okay.
the bigger clubs in
Okay.
town, you know.
Okay.
So, but we actually brought him for a gig at out in.
Clever strategy, because they
Yeah.
get to pay for it.
Yeah, so we had a couple
Should
of
do that with records.
yeah, so I think that's part of the success also, the live acts and things,
Yes.
because I mean when something was hot, we brought it into town.
Because I think that's the one venue, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Mo, I think that people know Godfrey for is Marmalade.
Marmalade, yeah.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I know that, you know, off the record, I mean, and aside that you still have a business called Marmalade that actually does live acts and, you know,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So, you know, and there's something in the name. I need to say that I watched this movie on the McDonald's called The Founder, you know, and they asked him why, and he said it's the name. And there's something in that name, you know, there's something in the name, Marmalade. So yeah. So, and then the ups and downs of being a vinyl DJ was what? You know, if you look at that whole stretch from then till, you know, till when you decided to sell your vinyl or buy turntables again or whatever. So
many backaches.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about playing with vinyl.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing for me was that you could remain exclusive, you know, because
Okay.
vinyl, it was more, it was niche.
Yes.
In a sense that you know, only DJs bought vinyl,
Yes.
Or 12-inch vinyls and
Yes.
things. Other people would obviously bought albums and things and
Okay.
that, but as far as 12-inch versions of songs and that, it was only exclusively DJs that bought it.
Oh.
You know, there was one or two exclusive shops that sold these things, so it wasn't the general public
That kept exclusive stuff for
You
exclusive
had to
guys.
go on the,
Yeah.
you know,
You had to be on that
you had
list.
to go into a small lift up to the, I think, 10th
Yeah.
floor or something,
Yeah.
and there's this guy Zach standing there.
No, it was
selling
Chris
you-
before me. So it was him. So
Yeah.
you know, I had nothing to do with it. So for me, it was free for all. That's why they fired me from the work record. So
Yeah, so I miss that exclusivity, because
Yes.
nowadays you can get
Yes.
anything, you know.
Everywhere.
Like you were joking around earlier, you go stand in a club in Shazam and you download the track right there and then, you know.
that's exactly what it is. So it's become sort of very much processed, like eating processed meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that kind of thing. I mean, is that your opinion at this stage, which we'll get back to?
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Okay. All right.
Not
Okay.
really.
So we're going to get back to that, obviously after the set, which is highly anticipated today. And I mean, I need to say to you that Godfrey even bought a special record box today and everything. So, you know what I mean. So I'm thinking about redesigning the setup here, and, you know, maybe looking at going in that direction. Nevertheless, my selector being very quiet, you know, because obviously he knows Godfrey's a lawyer, so he just
You better watch what you say.
yeah, well, watch it, brother. I got my attorney here with me, so you know, just you know, don't I say nothing without my lawyer. That's his stance today. My selector Mo Khan, of course, right here on SA Vinyl DJs, where we play vinyl only. The format is definitely the star on this show, and I need to tell you again, guys. You know, tune in every Saturday afternoon at 4:30. Make sure that you download the app SA Music Library onto your mobile device. Get it from the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store, and go to the live video section. Click on SA Vinyl DJs. That's where you'll find us. Video on demand available. Links to our YouTube channel. Our website is still under construction. There's one or two things that we're waiting on a go ahead for, and then obviously we're going to go live. So we've got a go live date happening in December. And there's no parties and no launches to go with it, by the way. You know, Marmalade's going to do something. I know that they are, but we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, we'll be back after this break with our producer, of course, DJ Noisy Boy. He's taking care of business on that side in the background. And we'll be back after this break with the set that we've been anticipating for about a week or two. When Mo's been going, I wonder what Godfrey's going to play. Can I select something? So now this afternoon here, I was here with records, brother. There's Debbie Gibson in that thing over there. Okay, so, so we'll catch you right after this. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to the club. Ladies and gents, your host and DJ for the evening, Superfly.
Yes, I'm me, host and DJ, management and staff of the club. We bid you a warm welcome this Saturday evening to the home of the hits, House of Entertainment, Lee Elegante.
We'd also like to wish Vicky a happy birthday and welcome to the club. Happy birthday to Vicky.
Yes, to a total new dimension in After Dark Entertainment. Sunday Club with a difference. Once again, to Vicky on your birthday, from me the DJ, management and staff of the club, may you see many, many more. Also to everyone here tonight, said we're gonna go simply out. Rages! Yeah! Saturday night, get up! Yes, to deliver your enjoyment once again, Sunday Club. Let's go! Yes, it's our 7 start time here tonight. Sunday, Elegante.
Well, they're dancing on the ceiling, they're dancing on the floor. Come on, baby, we're coming through the door. They know it's a party going on. Gonna dance and romance all night long.
Yes, so your enjoyment, Saturday Night Club.
It's cold outside. Come on in, I'll keep you satisfied.
Yeah!
All you gotta do is move. Oh, yeah. Every time you feel the groove. It ain't nothing but
Yes, let's get up here once again, Sunday Club.
it ain't nothing but a house party. It ain't nothing but a party, baby. It ain't nothing but a house party. Come on,
Yeah.
take that rhythm and soul.
Saturday night once again, I say.
I know you're gonna lose control. You can do the boogaloo. Anything that you wanna do. I know it's cold outside. Come on in, I'll keep you satisfied. All you gotta do is move. Oh, yeah. Every time you feel the groove. It ain't nothing but a party. It ain't nothing but a house party. It ain't nothing but a party, baby. It ain't nothing but a
Yes, I say. Yeah! Yes, get up and down the Sunset Club, I'm saying. Total new dimension in After Dark Entertainment. Sunday Club with a difference. Get up! 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 Moving, yeah! Oh! Okay! Yes, and goes to Vic on your birthday. Have a short time here tonight. Yes, let's get down and work that body, I'm saying. Yeah! Let's get up and down once again, Sunday Club. Yes, ever so time, yes, tonight I say.
out, world. Come on, come on. Word out. In the mix. Yeah. Girlfriend, so we can bubble with the music. You start bugging. Yeah. For reallies. I'ma get you out your seat. Why that? Come on.
vibratory thing. It's a 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 vibratory thing. It's a
techno, me bro. Yarra. Holy moly, DJ Godfrey in the house. Brother man.
Afshow mix.
Afshow mix, there we go. Of course, it's SA Vinyl DJs on a Saturday afternoon right here on the platform SA Music Library. It's the app to have on your mobile these days, apparently. And I need to say to you guys, get it from the App Store, get it from the Google Store, and download it, put it onto your mobile device. Catch us live every Saturday afternoon right here on that platform. Go to the live video streaming section and click on SA Vinyl DJs, and you'll catch your favorite Cape Town vinyl DJs for this year playing. There is some guys coming down from Durban towards the end of the year, and we're hoping to get some international players and cats right here in the house for 2020. In the meantime, our special guest, DJ Godfrey in the house. Sweet as ek hy goed hoor, brother. You know what I mean? I mean, the people overseas are like, what's this Afrikaans that you're speaking, Zach? Afrikaans, you know what I mean? So now that's how we roll. You know what I'm saying?
We need to put in some subtitles.
That's how we roll. And you know what I'm saying? And Godfrey, you come with that ministry stuff, brother. I mean, that you're hurting my feelings when you play that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, obviously Mo is a big fan of the genre that you just played. I need to say that to you.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, people who speak less, have, must I say it, have better taste in music.
That's a matter of opinion, but thank you.
Now, I will pay you a compliment because next week I want you to do the show. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you why later on. Nevertheless, SA Music Library, thank you very much for your platform, as well as ACOM Universal Design and Media, the reliable branding and printing solutions right here in the heart of Bellville. DJ Godfrey, tell us about the yard, man. Yeah. That's what we want to hear, because we were like debating this while you were playing your set. How do you get that name? I mean, because I don't know you as the yard man. I know you as some DJ Godfrey, the gentleman's DJ.
Yeah, listen, it's just all came about with a bit of fun.
Okay.
Wasn't really, I think Tyrone gave me the name.
Okay.
Because I used to use the sample of the work song a lot in some of the
Okay.
mixes and things. So it wasn't planned or anything like that. And it stuck, I get to places now and
Okay, so it's got nothing to do with your selection of music or anything like that.
Listen, it's a bit of a ingest, everyone, no one wants to be the yard man, everyone wants to be the guy that plays the cool stuff. But we all started somewhere in the backyard playing music to people.
There's that point again. That point, yeah.
You know what I
There's
mean?
that point.
Obviously they class different types of music now as yard music and all of these things.
Yes.
But
what's that guy's name? DJ Mellow? What's his
Cello.
name? Oh, Cello. Okay, he's not one of your understudies or anything like
No,
that.
no.
Okay. I'm just asking. I mean, I'm putting it out there. You know what I mean? So I'm saying hi.
Listen, I respect any DJ that brings, that entertains people, because if you see the euphoria going on some of these songs that we class as yard music, from a production point of view, sometimes some of the stuff is not up to scratch, but whatever entertains, you know what I mean? Different strokes, as they say. To me, I'll go into if you go into an audience that will love that music, and you play what I just played, I'll get crucified. So you have to adapt to the situation, I think. And I don't think any music should be put down in
should
any
be boxed.
sense, you know what I mean?
There's a word we don't say on the show. We're not going to say it.
Yeah.
Okay, Mo, don't say it.
It
sounds like
an indigenous style of music,
Afrikaans word, D-O-M, dom, but we won't say the word, okay, because we don't say it on the show. This is a vinyl format. Yeah. So okay. So Godfrey, the set that you just played, and I mean specifically the tracks that you just played, what did it mean to you? I mean, like, I know that nada, that and I mean, for me, that was also like a time when I played a lot of that kind of vibe, you know what I mean, town and so on. But I mean, for you, what does it specifically hold? Especially if I think about The one I was saying where he was playing the B-side with the yellow cover.
Hans, Meet at the Love Parade.
Meet at the Love Parade, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was like, sorry, I remember colours, I don't remember names. So I'm still old school in that way. So the record with the blue cover with the right red center.
The yellow
that
cover.
one, yeah. So you know, stuff like that. I mean, what does it actually mean to you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen, I think most of what I played, I remember not one of the songs I played is, well, they're all older than probably 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
years.
yes.
And if you listen to them now, you would think that it's a new genre or something new,
Yes.
you know. So I like to think we were ahead of our time a bit. It was cutting edge, definitely, the time that we played it, and
Yeah.
all those tracks at some stage, you know, at some of the venues that I played was huge hits at that specific venue, but nowhere
Yes.
else. Which, you know, that I think that's what we thrive on. You know, the fact that you can you sort of tailor make what you play to certain audiences and then take them on a journey. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That-
Would you then say Cape Town is segmented? I mean,
Cape Town is
based on that
very,
statement that you just made.
Yeah, the whole country is segmented in many ways, you know, in terms of the musical genre.
Because I mean, these days, you know, Mo was saying a couple of weeks ago that because we have 11 official languages, you know, you've got 11 different genres. You gotta play at the club if you're the resident. So it's that kind of move. But then you got like a poster, you know, and this is where I commend you, by the way, because I've never seen a Marmalade Productions poster with like 20 DJs on it. You know what I mean? And the thing is only from 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? That was a point we were talking about, and we were saying, I mean, you know, Newton he got quite excited about it. I must tell you that. So he was, you know, on the show, and he was pointing the finger. You know what happens when he points the finger. So
Yeah, you have 20 DJs playing, you know, fighting for 8 hours of production time, and everybody wants to be the superstar, so they all want to play like 50 tracks in their 45 minutes that they're given, and it's not really adding real entertainment value. We don't think so.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the view of the more informed DJs as well.
Yeah.
You end up spoiling the night, and you actually spoil it for the DJs that play after you,
Yeah.
and you achieve nothing.
what's DJ Godfrey's take on the future of vinyl in Cape Town, especially with DJs?
Future of vinyl?
I mean, I'm not trying to say to generalize it for the rest of the world. I'm saying,
Yeah.
you know, because, you know, being doing artist management, being a accomplished DJ, accomplished artist manager, accomplished promoter, club owner, etc. All of those boxes are ticked. I mean, you know, and now obviously influencer as well. And I mean, I know that you're still active because you're leaving here and you're going to art to do your set. You know what I mean? So all of those type of things. So
Yeah.
what's your take on vinyl? I mean, you know, what's
Listen, I love vinyl. I love playing vinyl. It's the only format that's actually shown growth in the last couple of years in terms of
Yes.
you know, we grew into you know, economically, and now people buy these things. So it's coming back in a big way commercially. From a DJ perspective, I doubt whether you'll find
guys carrying crates of records
guys
around?
carrying crates around, and it's just not.
That was the
viable
fun
any
part.
longer.
That was the fun part.
Yeah, and the 10 friends that.
That's it. That used to be at your house at 6 o'clock. Going to the function with 2 cars. I'm with the DJ, I'm with the DJ. So who's the actual DJ?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, it gives a certain level of exclusivity again, as it did the first time round when
Yes.
vinyl was booming. But also not, because again, you know, that guy Shazams what you're playing, and you'll go get the MP3, and you know what I mean. So in terms of that, I don't think vinyl will relive its glory days as it
Wow,
was back
what a
then.
statement. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a promoter, I'm going to say to you, so if you were to have a vinyl only party, or a vinyl only DJ doing one of your things, you know, like event basically, you know, do you expect a crowd to rock up to come and see this person play, or hear this person play? And that's the question I always ask.
Listen, the collecting part of vinyl
Yes.
is very niche, and you wouldn't find 10,000 people coming to watch a DJ because he's playing vinyl
Okay.
only.
Okay.
I don't see selling 10,000 tickets for a show like that.
Yes.
But it gives it it's a good marketing tool probably to market something, but you still gotta sell the DJ and the event, and I think nowadays people are more about the experience, and I find that even the DJ becomes sort of in the background nowadays. They want the overall experience. I personally, I'm a vinyl collector, so I always wish for vinyl to be,
Okay.
you know, on that scale, but I don't see it in a commercial sense. You know, that we're gonna go to a vinyl party because there's vinyl being played.
So we were saying a couple of weeks ago, Mo, that it's a rite of passage that a DJ has to go through, and vinyl is part of it. So the whole thing was someone made a statement that I think it was actually Newton.
It was Newton, yeah. We said
You
that.
can't call yourself a DJ if you haven't gone through that rite of passage.
Ollie actually. It was
Ollie,
yeah.
sorry,
Oliver Smith.
Oliver Smith, you know. And he's the curator of the biggest vinyl group on Facebook from Cape Town. You know, so I need to say to you, I mean, do you agree with that statement? I mean, you know, because I mean, obviously, you know, as a promoter or as a producer, you actually, you know, I'm sure there's DJs that you're mentoring or that's working for you, or etc. etc.
Let me answer you in this way. I don't listen to a lot of other DJs.
Yes.
But occasionally I find myself in places where DJs playing, and I get to listen to them. And in the last 10 years, probably, the best DJ I've heard
Yes.
couldn't mix.
Wow.
He rocked up at the place with 2 desktop computers,
Wow.
played Windows Media Player, but the way he took the crowd up and down with the music he played, to me was just, like I said, he was one of the top guys that I've heard playing. I mean, from the first song to the end,
Okay.
he captivated an audience. It was at a house party, 100 people.
Yes.
He just took them back and then brought them back and introduced some new stuff and whatever,
Okay.
without mixing.
Okay.
I think too much emphasis is being placed on the technical side.
Yes.
People specifically, you know, have these debates about the sync button.
Yes.
A sync button is not going to make you a good DJ.
Yeah.
You'll know, you still have to know what to play, when to play it, how long to play it, you know, and that comes with there's other things that play. The actual mix,
Yes.
or the actual beat mapping and beat matching
Yes.
becomes irrelevant actually, because if you don't know where to do that mix and how long to keep it and when to take it out, or the song is not working, let's do it earlier, there's a break somewhere, you know, that to me is showing the real skill of a DJ.
So that you know, then so in other words, what you're saying is the production starts losing its value.
Yeah.
In total. And
so I wouldn't say I'm a guy pro sync or anti sync or anything
Yes.
like that. I'm not on the fence, but
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with guys using sync if you can take that part out of it. Remember, you've got 2 minutes to make a decision as to what to play next, you know. And some guys rock up apparently with a plan. They know what they're going to play. I don't understand that, you know.
I wanna throw and I don't mean this in a derogatory way at all. I want to throw a gay person who's in a wheelchair, who is black and is from a disadvantaged background into that mix and see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously there's different tastes for different strokes with different folks.
Yeah.
So how do you plan? You know, because we used to plan. We had a couple of records and we used to plan. And I'm saying is planning can work, but I hear what you're saying when you're saying guys are actually planning to do something. Okay.
Yeah.
And the you know, general opinion out there is that people aren't actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, as far as I'm concerned. What's your thoughts about
The guys do plan nowadays, and sometimes it works for them, and there are times when it doesn't.
Is it called failing forward?
Yeah, 'cause, I could kind of. I still, like you. I struggle to come to terms with that, because yes, you should have an idea of what you're playing or what you want to present, but you inevitably, your final decision depends on what the actual vibe and ambiance is like at the event itself, and that'll drive you to actually play a particular set or a particular song. And I mean, if I just want to share with the viewers what happened here, for instance, you came in here with your crate. You probably thought you're going to start with a particular song, and then I pull out something else, and then you change everything on the spur of the moment. Now these guys that come with their prepared sets, and it's in there, their 10 tracks are in their folder. They can't do something like that because it just throws them completely off off balance, and then you can see it in the rest of their set. They're not quite there where they might have wanted to be. That to me, that is skill. Being able to do that, and being able to be that flexible and actually pull it off, because you're kind of thinking on your feet. And the same thing, coming back to the rites of passage thing, here you actually had to work. Firstly, you still had to be able. You still have had to have the ability to format your set and select your songs appropriately. And in addition to that, you had to beat match manually and deal with all the challenges
of the environment.
Yes. So a person who pulls that off, in my opinion, cannot be classed, on the same level as a guy who comes in and pushes a button. I mean, we've even had and we've had some of them here, vinyl DJs who themselves, sometimes their selection is probably not very appropriate, because you've got the one turntable's pitch at -6 and the other one at +8, but they want to play those songs. and that is because of being used to the convenience of sync.
So I'm gonna make an interesting observation, and this is one of the things that I like about Godfrey, as long as I've known him. So whenever you see him, he's always within the zone. I call it the zone. That pitch is always as close to 0 as possible. He's always playing the song at the right pitch. There's no chipmunking, or doesn't sound like the Oaks drunk, playing at -6. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. So that you can respect, and I think that's the metal of the DJ coming through. And I mean, you're so right, Godfrey, when you say the art of the DJ is in the selection, because that's what you're presenting to the people, as a DJ. I think it's great that you can mix and scratch and do all those other things and so on. Newton was saying nobody ever danced on a scratch, which is very true. I mean, for me it was a revelation. In 30 years I'd never thought of it like that.
Never thought of it that way either.
Honestly. But I agree fully with you when you say the art is in the selection. And the art of being a DJ is knowing your music, knowing what you're going to present out there. And I agree with you fully on that. So on that point, if the mighty DJ Godfrey could give one piece of advice to a youngster that's starting out now, not only the youngsters are not only starting to collect records, because now turntables the in thing, as we know. At the moment, it's the flavor of the year or flavor of the times. People go out, mommy, I need to SL 1200 Mark 7s. Daddy sells the one car, mommy buys it. You know what I'm saying? And now we're buying record collections, basically. Mine is for sale, by the way, guys. Anyway, there's a price for everything. Anyway, so I need to say to you, what's that one piece of advice that you can give?
Listen, the one thing I can always say is, if you don't love music, don't try and be a DJ. If it's anything else that you are aspiring to achieve through playing music, some people, one guy came and literally asked me, how do I become famous? You know what I mean? That's why
Adams.
Well,
I can hook him up.
Yeah, well, obviously a DJ, and that was his motivation, and I just felt, I think you would find that, and in my view, a lot of the DJs are actually introverted people.
Okay.
They don't like the limelight as much as people think they. You get thrown into that into that space. So, but what made them go up in a DJ box in front of hundreds of people and play music?
Thousands.
You know what I mean? Thousands at times. So I think it's, if you've got that real love for music and entertainment and making people happy, because ultimately, you know, that's what any DJ should feed off. If you see people smiling and happy and jumping up and down, and you're playing a certain song, and
fulfilling,
it
yeah.
evokes an emotion. You know, we did a party a couple of weeks ago where we did a blues set, and you could just
wow.
see how people.
Judy Boucher in two places at the same time.
You were talking about Judy Boucher. I mean, obviously you know that I've done
Yes.
concerts and things
Yes.
and worked with some big
Yes.
acts. Everybody keeps on asking me, you know, what is your moment?
Yes.
My moment is a 1,500-seater venue in Port Elizabeth. Judy Boucher singing Can't Be With You Tonight. I've never seen such raw emotion coming
Wow.
from people
Wow.
on a song.
Yes.
She did it to 5,000 people
Yes.
4 times in
Yes.
the Grand Arena.
Yes.
And people, when I brought her out the first time, they laughed at me. They're like,
Yes.
how can you bring out Judy Boucher, whatever? But we sold, kind of up to today, we sold over 25,000 tickets
Wow.
for Judy
Wow.
Boucher as the headliner. But everybody
Brilliant.
seems to, every time you bring her out, they seem to laugh at you and Judy Boucher, this and that.
Yes.
But again, that emotion she
Invokes,
with-
yes.
with
Yeah, no,
invokes
fully,
with the-
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree
so-
with you. So I'm going to say to DJ Godfrey, and I need you to put your DJ Godfrey cap on. Okay, throughout your entire DJ career, who would you say was the biggest influence on DJ Godfrey? What DJ in Cape Town? If you could invite one DJ, okay, that's out of your whole career, that's been the biggest influence on DJ Godfrey to play, okay, who's that guy?
Yeah. Listen, I think I answered that earlier already.
Yeah.
You know, I think Barney.
Yes.
Just in terms of his, you know, people throw the word music encyclopedia around when he's there.
Yes,
because
and he is.
That's an understatement there.
It's an understatement. I mean, the guy's a walking music encyclopedia.
Yeah, so most humble guy you'll ever find.
Yes.
Again, maybe not technically the DDD or the
Yes.
you know the
Yes.
guys that you would expect, and the mixing and this and that, but just from a deep knowledge of music, you know, it's amazing.
And I'm going to say to you, I sent him a message early on. I took a photo of you and I sent him a message early on, and I said to him, because we're going to put him on the couch.
Yeah.
And if I get the opportunity to put him on the couch, I'd like for you to be in the room at that point in time. You know what I mean? Is to sit next to him and obviously also ask him a couple of questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, nothing like, you know, why did you beat me the whole time, and you know, all of those type of things. So you know, but obviously we want to hear the story behind the story.
Yeah.
So we're going to get Barney in. So there you have it, the mighty DJ Godfrey sharing pearls of wisdom with us. You know, and thank you, my brother, for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for
Okay,
having
and
me.
look, it was a difficult one because I thought, you know, this is probably the busiest guy I know, and to try and get him in, you know what I mean. So I rather WhatsApp first, by the way. So I need to say that to you, because if you listen to his voicemail, it says, please don't leave a message.
I'm not going to phone you back.
Please. You know what I mean? I'm not going to call you back. Rather send me a message on WhatsApp. You know, I changed my message to that a couple.
must also get that.
You know, because it sounds Lani. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're the boss
Yeah.
of the road. You know.
I also want to include, please don't say, please call me. So I'm going
Don't say please call me. Sir. Yeah, don't ask for airtime either. You know. But thank you very much, Richard, for gracing us with your presence on SA Vinyl DJs. We appreciate it. And let me tell you something. Obviously, we're trying to, for us, the format is to stop. And we're trying to keep the format alive. And when the progenitors of the format in Cape Town are on our show, that's when we know we're on the right path. Of course, definitely. And my selector Mokan, of course, one of the progenitors, believe it or not, you know, as always, you know. And, you know, I want to say thank you to him once again for joining us. Our producer, DJ Noisy Boy, he's in the house, as always. Remember, you can catch him. He's going to be available for gigs real soon. You know, as soon as his broken leg heals. I think his dad knocked him by accident with a car a couple of weeks ago, and you know, he's been in a cast since. So as soon as his leg heals, his right leg, and then we'll get him to obviously share that information with you. He'll be doing a couple of gigs. In the meantime, we'll let you know, of course, next week on SA Vinyl DJs, we interview, one of the guys I grew up with in Cape Town. And obviously he was quite well known, the mighty and indomitable DJ Ready D, Dion Daniels. He'll be with us next week, Saturday afternoon, to come and share his story with us and tell us a little bit about his vinyl experience and where he thinks the format's going to go. And of course, share some pearls of wisdom for everybody out there. In the meantime, we also want to say thanks to the guys from Belgium once again for tuning in. And of course, New Zealand, for staying awake.
Okay.
I know that you guys are online. And then of course, there's from the UK, we've got Mr. Mock. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
Mr. Mocky, Anthony.
Yeah. So he's also, so big shout out to him. And then to all the guys that were sending WhatsApp messages, saying all kinds of things. Please tell Godfrey this. But, no, I don't want to share it on air. You know what I mean? So, and they were, and so on, and send him my regards and so on. And then I got a WhatsApp from, I'm not going to say her name. Tell Godfrey he needs to pick up the milk and the cheese as well, before he comes out.
Otherwise he mustn't come up.
And of course, on that note, and get his selection right of the cheese, actually, it says here. So it's all about the selection there, Godfrey. So on that note, we want to say thank you to you, everybody, for tuning in this week. We'll be back next week with DJ Ready D, and he's going to share his story with us. Stay in the game, and remember, drive safely, stay safe out there, download the app, tell all your friends about it, and we'll see you next week Saturday right here on SA Vinyl DJs. Thanks for watching.
A dedication unto Sandra, that's to Sandra or Sandy on your birthday. Yeah, it comes from all your buddies here tonight. Wishing you everything all the best and hope you have yourself a rave, baby.
regarded this earth with envious eyes. And slowly and surely, they drew their plans against
89 remix, The Eve of War.